So today's topic is to look into authenticate and access Adobe Experience Platform APIs. And we can see how securely and easy it is to make these API calls. So to maintain the security of your application and users, all requests through to Adobe I/O API must be authenticated and authorized using standards such as OAuth and JSON Web Token, JWT. The JWT is then used along with client-specific information to generate your personal access token. So in this Blackboard session covers the steps of authentication through the creation of an access token. So there are a few prerequisites before you move to next step. So first of all, in order for you to make successful calls to Experience Platform APIs, you require the following. You need an IMS organization with access to Adobe Experience Platform. You will need a registered Adobe ID account, and you will need that account to have a developer access. The last thing is an admin console administrator to add you as a developer and user for the product. So the following walkthrough step by step in order of how to make these API calls. So first of all, we'll need to do one-time setup. And within one-time setup, you work with Adobe I/O Gateway through console. So if you go to console.adobe.io, you'll be able to do that configuration there. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to create certificate on your machine. So you have to create a certificate. And in this process of creating certificate, you'll get two things. You'll get a primary and private key, and you'll get a public certificate. Once you go through this process, you will then need to log in on Adobe I/O Dev Portal. You'll need to have developer access to get that. Next thing that you do is once you log in, is you create an integration point. When you do this integration point, when you create this integration point, you will need to have access to public certificate, which you will use to create this integration. As a process, this will give you a copy of some of the access values. So you then take the copy, all the value, like secrets and other values, and save it in your text file, because you will need to make the use of that to make an API call. And one important part is you get your client secret. Okay, so you get that key, which is essential to make these API calls. Okay, so now once we have that, remember that we used this public certificate. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this private key together with this client secret to make this API call. So this is a one-time setup, and you don't need to do it again. So the next thing that you do is you take this information and basically you generate JWT token one time. And then this will give you JWT token as a result of that API call. Now then you have to use this JWT token to generate access token. Now this access token, time to leave for that is 24 hours. So you'll need to create and refresh your token every single day before you make any subsequent calls. As a process of that, you will get the access token. And once you get access token, you have access to the platform. As a process from here, once you have that key, you are authenticated, you can use this access token to make all those API calls. So you can make API calls such as profile lookup or create a segments. Will support both post and get command from the platform. And remember that you will need to have this access token refreshed every 24 hours. Thank you very much.